you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane. Got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games. Man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Tell people what a microaggression is. I think we all hear that now, and we're not really sure what it means. I'm not, anyway.
A microaggression is any act, no matter how subtle, that makes the recipient uncomfortable regardless of the intent of the perpetrator.
Good grief.
Right.
Good grief.
Yeah, because we're getting away from intent, eh?
Yeah.
It's all consequence.
It's all how it's received.
Yes. And and that's being written into the law very rapidly, by the way. So we're moving from a legal system where intent matters to a legal system where consequences matter, which is really the eradication of the legal system. But it doesn't matter, because the postmodern radicals who increasingly occupy the law schools believe that Western law is a patriarchal and oppressive tradition, and that undermining it and destroying it by doing things like removing due process and insisting on preponderance of evidence and going for consequence rather than intent, that's fine, because all they're doing is tearing down a terrible tyrannical patriarchal structure. Having never had the fortune to spend any time in an Iranian prison, for example, they're not very good at distinguishing between what constitutes a tyranny and what constitutes a free society.
Very deep stuff. You heard the voice. Dr. Jordan Peterson talking about microaggressions in law and in society. And a lot of people don't understand, or maybe gloss over, when I say the people in society, we mirror the toxicity of society. So you'll hear people say, oh, society is toxic. No, it's the people that make up a society that are toxic. We get conditioned to have certain limiting beliefs, and then we perpetuate those beliefs through that conditioning. So what he said was the legal system is more focused on consequences now than intent. Tell me we can't juxtapose that to intimate relationships. The bottom line is you hurt me. It doesn't matter what your intent is. Is that not the same thing? Micro invalidation in intimate relationships. That is our topic tonight. If someone is micro invalidating you, please understand. Please understand. Not only do they not care about themselves, they really don't care about you. Because you are a reflection of the part of themselves they don't care about. Did you hear that? Somebody gonna meme that. Huh? You are the reflection of the part of themselves that they really don't care about. They don't care to engage that part of themselves. And you irritate it. You trigger it. Thus, the justification for micro invalidation in relationship. Right? Not only is it mirroring you, it's mirroring what they modeled. You remind them of what they modeled. I know you don't want to hear it put that way. Have you been invalidated in your relationships? Typically, and remember what I said about this, people have little clue that relationships are inherently spiritual. And that spirituality is turned into an intrapersonal curriculum designed for you to get past you, designed for you to overcome you. So you get a shadow reflection of the curriculum that is inherently yours. This is why the people we attract into our lives be the ones that trigger us the most. Is micro invalidation a precursor to narcissistic devaluation? Can micro invalidation be stopped before the devaluation phase begins? What connection can be drawn between devaluation, micro invalidation, and discard? Are we really all guilty of using these tactics at some point in our relationship? Is it possible for genuine love and concern to exist within a relationship plagued by micro invalidation? Can micro invalidation be unintentional? We've got heavy hitting questions, right? Is it possible for genuine love and concern to exist within a relationship plagued by micro invalidation? I had to read it again. Can micro invalidation be unintentional? I want you to think about it. Have you dismissed your partner's thoughts, feelings, and beliefs? To go even deeper, which is better? To be seen and heard by a toxic person, or to be seen and heard by the toxic self within you? 1-800-920-1580. Did you hear what I said? Is it better to be seen and heard by the mirror of your toxicity, or is it better to be seen and heard by your toxicity itself? 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. What are some signs that your partner is invalidating you? Can you be the reason behind your partner's invalidation, or is it strictly linked to their perception of you and or themselves? How might the concept of micro-invalidation affect one's vibrational frequency and energetic resonance within a relationship? Keep getting put down. Keep getting slighted. Keep getting disrespected. And see if your vibrational energy and frequency takes a hit. It's hard to be upbeat when you're getting beat up. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. This is one of those topics. In what ways could microinvalidation be viewed as a form of energy disruption within the metaphysical framework of chi or prana? You say, dog, man, Zoe is getting deep. Yes. Spirituality is inherently a part of relationship. How you feel, your vibe, your energy, your flow, all of that is a part of it. And although it can't be falsifiable according to Western standards of science, we all know that there's a vibe and an energy surrounding relationships. Can microinvalidation align or conflict with the idea of non-duality in metaphysical thinking? How might the cycles, I know y'all not ready for these types of questions. Are you really? Do you guys really want to talk about it? How does microinvalidation influence power dynamics within intimate relationships? Can recognizing and addressing microinvalidation foster deeper emotional intimacy and trust between partners? Listen, it's not always about you getting what you want. When are we going to stop trying to do God's job? And I'm talking about the God in you. You think the God in you don't want to go somewhere it's not welcomed? See, the God in you is not afraid to face itself. That's why sometimes the God in you will place itself in difficult situations, because the God in you knows it has the answer. Only the ego in you knows that it does not. The ego in you has fear, pride, guilt, shame, apathy, anger, frustration, fatigue. But the God in you knows, yes, this is a difficult situation. But if we allow ourselves to process without judgment, we're gonna up level anyway. Does that make sense? What are the implications of micro-invalidation for the maintenance of a long-term monogamous relationship? How long do you think a person can tolerate micro-invalidations? Now, we've heard of microaggression, right? As black people, we get it all the time. You know, those subtle little digs, those subtle little putbacks. But guess what? Aren't we guilty of those same little digs and putbacks in our intimate relationships? And usually that's centered around not getting what we think we deserve, right? When we don't get what we think we deserve, first off, we feel disrespected, right? Once we start feeling disrespected, we start losing respect for the person, right? Once we start losing respect for the person, micro-invalidations are par for the course. Microaggression is par for the course, because now we're starting to show our fatigue through our dismissive nature. Am I lying? Somebody tell me I'm lying right now. Tell me I'm lying. Listen, when I come forward, the voice of reason will be going to the phone lines. I really want to understand your thought process. I really want to know, have you invalidated somebody? Do you play the micro-invalidation game? I'm interested to know, has it been played on you? And what does that do to your sense of self, your self-worth, your self-esteem, right? Have you ever been knocked down a peg by somebody that's supposed to be in love with you? About to get deep. When we come forward, the voice of reason shall continue this onslaught.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, Tavis Smiley here. We're getting closer to June 18th and time is running out for you to register to join us for our historic symposium live on C-SPAN, Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com right now if you want to be in the audience when the nation will see for the first time ever a stage full of brilliant black folk talking about the urgency of now. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. It's all going down. Well, it's actually all going up. Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. live from the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Again, admission is free, but we're filling up fast. So if I were you, I would log on right now to KBLA1580.com to reserve your seat. Caring about the climate, caring about the community. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 climate justice campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, not feeling like yourself lately? Has your weight loss plateaued? If so, you know it's time to embrace D-Herb's Full Body Cleanse, a cleansing regimen that can help you lose 10 to 30 pounds in just 20 days. The D-Herb Cleanse also helps to boost immune system, improve mental clarity, clear up your skin, and improve your digestion. This cleanse is like a factory reset for your health. The Full Body Cleanse is a great way to propel you into a healthier lifestyle. With summer just around the corner, there's never been a better time to initiate that weight loss and reboot your system. All you got to do is go to dherbs.com and order your Full Body Cleanse today, or call 866-434-3727. That's 866-434-3727. Enter KBLA 1580 at checkout for a discount. D-Herbs, experience in healing.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Those days are over. You don't have to say your bye.
When I was doing research for this, one of the things that struck me as incredibly insightful, and I wish I had known a long time ago, was you said behind every criticism,
there's a
wish.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that and explore that with us for a little bit?
Why don't you ask me a question about my new podcast, for example, right? That would be, I actually would like you to talk with me about my new podcast, but I won't say that, right? Why don't you bring me flowers? Why didn't you say good morning? Why didn't you thank me when I did? Why, what is actually, what am I saying? I'm saying, I wished you had thanked me. I wished you had noticed that I bought you this new suit. I wished you had, shown me your appreciation for, I wished. But if I say I wished, I have to put myself out there. It means I want something, and I can be refused. I can be rejected. I can be not heard. And that, in a relationship that is not secure, I will defend against that. I don't want to show you that side of me. So instead of saying what I want, I'll say what you didn't do.
Are you listening? Only the empty, only the spiritually impoverished is wishing. I know y'all don't want to hear it put that way. I know. Don't you know you are the wellspring, the spiritual wellspring for everything you've ever needed? And the only reason why relationship is the mirror of you is because if you spend most of your time in a psychological factory crafting a persona, i.e. a mask to wear, so you can front to the people, to the public, right, as if you've got it all together, you're not going to look at yourself. So relationship is designed to send you somebody that can trigger what's behind the mask. Did you hear what she said? Behind every complaint is a wish. And we have been conditioned to believe that wish fulfillment comes from outside of ourselves. So the one who wishes is the one who ignores their internal riches. Somebody meme it. The one who perpetually wishes, I wish they would do this. I wish they would change. I wish they would up level. I wish. I deserve. I did. Are y'all listening? Huh? Are you seeking validation from the outside in? Or should you be cultivating it from the inside out? This is why micro invalidations has so much impact on our intimate relationship. So some people say, well, what is a micro invalidation? Micro invalidation is a type of microaggression that involves comments or actions that dismiss or ignore the thoughts, feelings, and or experience of a member of an underrepresented community. In relationships, some might say that's women. Some would even argue that that's men, right? Men want to be heard. Women want to be heard. It's bidirectional. Everybody wants to be heard. But nobody is really tapped in and tuned in to listening to themselves. Micro invalidations can be subtle and backhanded, right? And have a devastating impact on the recipient for weeks, years, or even decades. Are you guilty of micro invalidations? Are you microaggressive in your intimate relationship because you've been disappointed? Because the image of your partner has been shattered? The concept, the ideal, the ideological construct you constructed to represent them, which is totally in alignment to the cries of your wounds. Once that image of them is destroyed, now all of a sudden you're justified in these micro invalidation, using these micro invalidations, these microaggressions. We got a caller on the line. Let's get him in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts?
Oh, wow. I didn't think I was going to be first. Y'all need to call in. Let me be quiet. Let's be quiet. What's up? How are you?
I'm alive and well. Tonight's topic is hot monkey lava. Let's get it. What are your thoughts?
It is. Okay, so I wanted to address or kind of like ask your opinion on a comment that was made in the chat, and I thought it was interesting. Let me find it. Okay, so Schumacher said validating yourself should be enough if that's the case, which I'm not entirely sure what he was referencing there. But let me ask you though, in the case of being invalidated by your partner, right, at that point, is self-validation enough, in your opinion, to restore yourself, if you will?
So let's look at it on the bell curve, right? On the bell curve, right? Let's just look at the bell curve. In the middle and slightly to the right and slightly to the left, you have your variations, right? But typically in the middle of the bell curve is where the majority of people are, right? A couple of degrees to the right, you start getting into the rarefied air of the bell curve. A couple of degrees to the left, you start getting into the people that are grossly maladaptive, right? So now, most of these questions are coming from the perspective of the people in the middle of the bell curve. Most of those people are hurt. When we do the research, what is it? 80% of most people in America have a maladaptive attachment style, right? So the inclination is to do what? Oh, somebody else is supposed to fix it. Somebody else is supposed to show up and be better than me. Somebody else is supposed to heal me. So in a way, the brother is correct. Self-validation should trump external validation. But imagine if you tapped into the source in you. Would you need their validation? Would their micro invalidation carry the same weight? Does that make sense? That's my point. And
not for me. No.
Wait, stay with me. Stay with me, Attila. When we come forward, we gonna go even deeper. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Maryland Governor Wes Moore has ordered Maryland flags to fly at half-staff until a murdered parole officer is laid to rest. 33-year-old agent Davis Martinez was found dead recently in the home of a registered sex offender he was checking on in Chevy Chase. The suspect, 54-year-old Emmanuel Sewell, was arrested on a second-degree murder warrant near Hurricane, Virginia. Governor Moore, who is black, says the entire state grieves the loss of Agent Martinez along with those he helped dear. Conversations in Tennessee are expected to continue about transferring the power of the Shelby County Youth Justice and Education Center over to the Shelby County Juvenile Court. The county sheriff's office has been running it since 2015. However, it has no obligation to do so. Earlier this year, Black Sheriff Floyd Bonner said the intention was to transfer the operation to the juvenile court by the end of the year. No official date has been determined, and Shelby County commissioners are expected to address that at an upcoming meeting. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale is here. Save up to $500 on select adjustable bed sets like the all-new Temper Adapt collection with advanced pressure relief to help reduce aches and pains. Plus, get a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. Hurry into Mattress Firm today.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
So, I want to address this angle. Jeez. I want to address...
Hold on. We're going to come right back because I want her to hear the tone in her voice just then.
I just want to say I'm not sorry for my tone of voice just then. He's wrong because he had the video camera.
That's too much of me. Nor you.
In our crotches. So I want to address the young man who said in the comments that he was dating a woman. He's a black man who was dating a woman, a white woman, who he knew it wouldn't work out with her because there were incidences of microaggressions and straight up aggressions against him, and she kept explaining them away. and it made him feel some type of way. And Todd and I talked about that comment.
This is, excuse me, everybody. This is something like we go into a restaurant and they say you don't have a table, and then I go in and they have a table, that type of thing.
Yeah, but then you're like, but then
that would be a microaggression.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you would say, oh well, he didn't mean it. It's probably not about your race. Yeah. So yeah, that happens with us too. I think it happens because, at least with us, and Todd has said to me, and I don't want to speak for you entirely, babe. Tell him why you think this happens. Why do you feel like a knee-jerk reaction to defend who we might think is a microaggressor when this type of thing happens?
Why do I what?
Why do you feel the knee-jerk reaction?
Listen, that is a clip of an interracial couple, a sister and a white man, and they're talking about microaggressions coming towards them, and they're talking about the subtleties, that they face as a couple. But tonight's topic is a little different. I'm talking about micro invalidations within the interpersonal relationship. And oftentimes we have these well thought out ideas, but usually they're not bi-directional. It's like, as they're framing it, this is how the world is reacting to us. I'm saying, no. Let's not act like you haven't experienced micro invalidations. Now remember, micro invalidation is a subset of microaggression. What is a microaggression? Stems from implicit bias, making snide remarks or jokes with racist or sexist undertones, right? Being condescending to your partner. We invalidate each other intimately all the time. Let's be honest. What's the difference between micro insults and micro invalidation? Micro insult, noun, a comment or action that communicates insensitivity to or disregard for a person's identity or heritage. Micro invalidation, a comment or action that ignores or dismisses the thoughts, feelings, or experiences of a member of an underrepresented community. Well, there's power dynamics in relationship, just like there's power dynamics in society. So the weaker person in a relationship, are you telling me they don't get micro invalidated? Which is a symptom of microaggression? This is heavy stuff. Passive-aggressive comments. How about that? That's a micro-invalidation. Passive-aggressive comments. This is why I always say some people put too much emphasis on the tone and delivery, even though emphasis should be placed on tone and delivery. But you can say some of the most hurtful, some of the most passive-aggressive and disrespectful stuff in the sweetest of tones. And it can still be an insult. It can still be a micro-invalidation. It can still be a micro-aggressive move in a relationship. Do you understand? Let's get Attila from Houston, Texas back in here. Attila, please finish your thought.
Yes. Okay. So my last thought on this, I really feel like a lot of what you're describing is kind of like, I don't want to say it's a battle, but in a sense, it's like a battle between two weak egos, right? So the person that's doing the invalidation, right, obviously they have a weak ego because they're trying to feed off of the, discomfort, angst, and insecurity of the other person. And the other person may just really want to be validated by the invalidator. Either way, I think that something that weak egos have in common is that they're either going to want way too much validation, oversaturated, or they're going to reject validation. And I'm surprised you haven't brought up the lovely attachment styles yet, right?
You want to do it? Let's do it.
You already know that's where I'm going to go. Come on now, Unc. Listen.
Let's do it.
We keep it real up in here. No, I'm just kidding. But, as a fearful avoidant, right, I find myself swinging from I don't need their validation to, but, I really would like to just hear them say X, Y, Z. Right? And so I think having experienced both sides, I think one thing that I've taken away from my experiences with other people is that either way, I'm going to have to do the work. And I think that you have to learn how to shake off those, in a sense, it's like a coping mechanism in a way. To say that you don't need something that deep down you want is going to cause delusion. So don't do that. But I think to desperately cling towards someone or cling to someone who is in a sense kind of like your captor, right? Create somewhat of a, what's that thing called? Where you love your captor. What is it called?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, you're creating a sense of a Stockholm syndrome, right? And I just can't help but think that many of us who struggle in this area develop this from childhood. Maybe you had a good cop, bad cop type of parent situation, right? And so,
no, what's
all
interesting,
I'm going to say...
Wait, before you move on, because what's interesting in what you're saying is you only acknowledge one side of the fearful avoidant, and that was the anxious side. But then there's the avoidant side, which is the total opposite of the anxious side because they have a dual wound, fearful avoidant.
I touched it a little bit. Yeah,
Right.
I touched it. I'll touch on that. I mean, basically, so the dismissive part that comes through makes me feel like I don't want anything to do with that person. So that's going to be that quick cutoff. Like, I really don't care to see you ever again. And I think part of that is because depending upon the type of dynamic you're in as the fearful avoidant, if you're dating someone who maybe is more dismissive, I feel like dismissives use the invalidation as a go-to.
That's their
Right,
that's their number one move, invalidate. Yeah.
Right. Well, but think about it, though. Who validated them?
No one.
Exactly. I can't give you what I've never received. I don't know what that looks like. And that's just the reality of it. So for people walking around saying, I don't need this, I don't need it, it's no different than women who scream they don't need a man. Right? Now we're seeing the flip side, and I think it's, on one end, it's beautiful for men to focus on their health, their wealth, and the things that are going to uplift them. But I also see things that are a little bit disturbing where you lean so much into that you can kind of forego any sort of real happiness or joy. And you're doing it out of fear, like women and men, whether you're a get the money type of woman or, you're the type of man who's like, I just want to sleep with every woman I see, whatever. Either way, they're all coping mechanisms for the same types of wounds.
Man,
so
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Attila, guess what you just did?
I love you. Bye. I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the deal. The routine is quite simple. 1-800-920-1580 when I come forward. You already know what I'm about to do. I'm going to Dallas, Texas. Then I'm going to Oakland, California. Then I'm going to Indianapolis.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Medicare Fraud Prevention Week focuses on the actions everyone can take to prevent Medicare fraud, errors, and abuse. Learn how to protect yourself and your loved ones by joining the Senior Medicare Patrol, or SMP, for Medicare Fraud Prevention Week, June 3rd through the 9th. Learn more at snpresource.org or by calling 1-877-808-2468.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I am an attorney. I'm also a narcissist negotiation expert. And if you are dealing with narcissists in any way, shape, or form, you're definitely going to want to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because I upload brand new videos every single day, and I've helped thousands and thousands of people break free from the chains of toxic people, and I want to help you do the same thing. Okay, so are you dealing with a covert narcissist? Covert narcissists are the absolute worst. I have dealt with them myself in my personal life, and that is why I am on this mission, on this crusade, to help you guys break free from them too, because I know they get stuck in your head. They literally know how to get stuck in the recesses of your head. You become obsessed seriously, like you wake up in the middle of the night, you're thinking about it. You wake up in the morning, you're thinking about it. You're brushing your teeth, you're thinking about it. You seriously cannot get away from these. It's seriously like death by 1,000 cuts because they are so subtle. I've recently heard this term micro manipulation, and I love this term because this is what they do. I mean, it is so subtle that when you go to try to tell somebody about it, people think, well, that doesn't sound that bad. And there's this term called plausible deniability, and that is what they do. I mean, it's so subtle that it's really, really hard to describe what it is that they're doing. It just doesn't seem that bad because these micro manipulations are so tiny. They're literally messing with your mind a little at a time. You know, there's this old term, Chinese water torture, which, you know, I kind of don't love that term because I'm half Chinese and, you know, it's not the greatest, but it's that little like drip, drip, drip on your forehead where it's just a little at a time. It's the whole death by 1,000 cuts thing. And so this is how covert narcissists literally make you crazy and drive you absolutely insane. So these micro manipulations are what they do to absolutely drive you crazy. It is a subtle form of emotional abuse that they use in their closest relationships.
Pause it. I'm sorry. A subtle form of emotional abuse. This is deep. Have you ever been listen, this is going to sound strange. Have you ever been abused by false consideration, false empathy, false kindness, false care, pseudo care, pseudo kindness, pseudo empathy, pseudo consideration, right? The package seems right, right? You know how people say there's a difference between criticism and constructive criticism. What if criticism, negative criticism, is dressed up like constructive criticism? See, y'all don't understand what manipulation is. I still get to abuse you emotionally. But because I wrapped it in a pseudo-empathetic framing, in a pseudo-considerate presentation, right? I somehow get to look like the good guy. Remember, months ago, we did the narcissist piece. The way they text, the way they communicate. It's all set up to leave you confused like, was that positive or was that negative? Huh? What was that? Have you ever been the sandwich compliment, but only in the middle of the sandwich, which is the meat is hurtful. The meat denigrates. The meat disrespects. Has someone ever made a sweet, quote unquote, caring, snide remark about you? About how you feel? I'm just asking. And it gets even deeper. What is a nonverbal microaggression? Nonverbal microaggressions, whether from you or your family, could look like the following. Placing air quotes around words in the native language of your partner. Mimicking stereotypical gestures of a man, woman, or older person, like a caricature. Bending over repeatedly when speaking to someone who uses a wheelchair. This is real. What research says about microaggressions in relationship, depression, anxiety, lack of behavioral control? When you feel like, especially when you're addicted to external validation, you are subject. You are subject right, to depression and anxiety. When you're addicted to external validation. Now, par for the course is this: human beings are hardwired for connection. So, of course, we want to be acknowledged by our loved one, by our family members. Of course, we want to be approved of and appreciated by them. But I'm here to tell you, moving into the 21st century, this is really about self-approval, self-acknowledgement, not self-aggrandizement, right? But self-acknowledgement. And self-acknowledgement is much deeper. This is where self-awareness is rooted. This is where self-expression springs from, right? Self-awareness cannot be achieved unless you accept what you don't like about yourself. Let's get these callers in here. True Monger from Dallas, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, boy. It's something to really marinate on for sure. The micro-validation, my thing is, do people really, I guess it's more of a, whether you're secure in yourself or insecure in yourself, if it's really needed consistently, or if people are just thirsting for it on a consistent basis to make themselves feel better.
Well, let's go back. Wait, let's go back.
Okay.
Because we answered that question. Let's go back. It is estimated that 80% of the population of America has maladaptive attachment style. Anxious avoidant, worthiness wound, anxious preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant, i.e. disorganized. 80% of the folks got one of the three. And secure attachment doesn't mean you're secure in that attachment, because if you get with one of the three maladaptives, you can be pulled into an insecure attachment style yourself.
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
I think it all starts with self. A lot of these situations, these issues start with self. Me personally, I appreciate validation. I don't seek it.
Wait,
usually
you got to hold that thought, True Monger. I got to carry you over. But, bro, I want you to pick right up right there. I don't seek it. It's good. I appreciate it, but I ain't got to have it. When we come forward, more from Dallas, Texas.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Maryland Governor Wes Moore has ordered Maryland flags to fly at half staff until a murdered parole officer